The next skill we're going to demonstrate is a fracture of the mid-femur. So we'll say the break is here, it's not close to the knee, and it's certainly not close to the pelvis. So the first thing we're going to do is on our secondary exam and finding a suspected fracture site, we're going to stabilize above and below the fracture so we don't have any problems in moving the limbs. Lisa's going to come in and expose the area of injury, and we're going to address all wounds or any potential wounds that might be there. Once that's been done, she'll take the shoe off and check CWCMS, color, warmth, circulation, movement, and sensation of the distal foot, and to see if that's impaired or not. If the leg is adequate circulation, adequate pulse, we're not required to apply any traction. Again, restating the facts, if it's angulated, as to prevent mobilization and transport, and or a pulse is missing and it's out of alignment, we're going to apply gentle inline traction to the leg. In this case, we'll say the pulse is missing, so Lisa is going to apply traction by hooking her right hand under the ankle and placing her left hand under the knee, and then physically leaning back longitudinally to pull traction on the leg. So now the traction's been applied, I'll get the splint ready. And because we have to mobilize the joint above and below the break, and the break being here, we have to use a board splint or a board in the frac pack. So we want to make sure that we measure up the splint to the good leg. So we've got the ankle and we've got the board going to the level of the armpit. And now we would gently raise the leg up, just slightly, slide the splint down. So the ankle is still inside the splint, so she lowers the leg down, still maintains traction, so she's still putting traction on the leg. Traction is maintained throughout this procedure until the very end. So we pad all natural hollows again, much like we've done every other time, and we apply the frac pack straps. Again, if this were to fall right on the area of injury, we could change these straps to get away from it. Or, if it was right on the area, we'd elect to put two cravats around either side of it. So let's pretend the fracture's there. So that's been in place. I'm then going to put the wooden board, making sure it's under the armpit, using my yellow pad to go around the piece of board. The easiest way to bind or auto splint the far leg to this one is to take two cravats, take the tails together, lay them over a padded board splint, and at the area of the lumbar spine, slide the splint through until the cravats come to the other side, and then remove the splint. We've then got one cravat which we can tie. Try and stay off the diaphragm, knowing full well if this is tied too tight, it might impair respirations. Make sure your cravats are wide enough so they don't get too ropey. And at the level of the pelvis now, we tie the second. And finally, we can put two more cravats on the leg. Bringing Brian's good leg against the bad leg, going under the ankle hitch area, under the splint. Slide the cravats into position. So now we've got the final straps tied off. And these can now release traction. So now what we do is recheck our dressing, or recheck all our straps and ties. Finally, recheck CWCMS. And now, if the pulse is missing or it's gone, the only thing I can again do is to check my straps to make sure we haven't left one too tight that might have impaired circulation. If not, it's a low blow situation.